Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another 1 vs 1 cast in StarCraft 2, brought to you by Icelian Gaming. This is Icelian, and I'm happy to be showing you a competition that is actually a best of 3, and this will be Game 1 between the Protoss player Green, spawning here in the bottom left corner as Monchi. Now, Monchi is a rank 38 European Grandmaster player. He's a member of the Energy Wave team, so I guess he could be EW Monchi if they chose to abbreviate it as such. He's played in a lot of weekly smaller tournaments. He's placed top 3 in a few of them. He's an Austrian player. Otherwise, not a whole lot is actually really known about Monchi. Equally so, up here in the top right corner will be our Zerg. Red, spawning is Aristeo. Now, I'm not sure how to say this, Aristeo or Aristeo, so I'm going to go with Aristeo, like aristocrat. So Aristeo is he is actually really noted for his 2v2 play among Europe. He plays with a team member Qbert, both of the Empire teams. Some of you probably know Empire Cos. And on the Empire team, he and Qbert are some of the best in 2v2. He is, of course, known to play 1v1, as is being shown right here. He actually used to play random 1v1, according to a little Liquipedia snippet about him. He's decided on Zerg. He will still random in 3v3 and 4v4, but in 2s he's probably decided on Protoss, as his favorite unit is the Blink Stalker. Little random tidbits for you there. For Monchi, there's really not a whole lot known. I didn't find much of anything on him. This is from the GO4 SC2 Weekly Cup, or bi-weekly you could say. This is a best of 3 series, and again, this is game 1, so don't be afraid if I'm about to spew any spoilers about, oh, and last game. No, there's no last game. You can't have a game 0. That's like, you can't do it. Math says no. So both players going very standard openings here. Looks like about a 14 pool. We did see gas first for Aristeo, so we're likely going to see some more tech play going, and spawning pool just finished. Queen has begun, and 4 Zerglings are on the way, likely to just harness a bit of map control, make sure everything's going down. Like I was saying, the GOSC2 Cup is a weekly or bi-weekly cup. It actually happens twice a week, and it's I guess it shouldn't be a cup, it's a tournament. And the tournament awards points to the winners. And at the end of the month, or nearing the end of the month, those players with the most points throughout the weekly tournaments will lead to, or will meet up in a monthly tournament competing for 500 euros. Nothing major, but certainly something to be known. This probe going to slip by with his life. This is from patch 1.4. For anybody wondering, this is after the Infestor nerf, both on Neural and on Fungal. This is after the Ultralisk buff, the Raven Hunter Seeker Missile buff, the Ultralisk, I already said Ultralisk buff, Blue Flame, the Infernal Pre-Igniter nerf, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. Big thing that's going to be in this one, of course, we don't care about Terran in this matchup, but the big thing is going to be Immortals. Immortals now have a range of 6. Going to be absolutely crucial if we see some Roach heavy play that is countered by Immortals. Before, you might have a Stalker Immortal mix, and the Stalkers with a range of 6 would force the Immortals to be in front of them with only a range of 5 before this patch. That would force the Immortals to be a little more out in the open and be much more likely to be focus fired, which I don't care how awesome your hardened shields are when you have about 18 different Zerg units shooting down at you, you're not going to live too long. We see a pretty quick expansion coming down here for Monchi. He's not pushing out after a timing push of any kind. These 4 Zerglings are going to come in here and see what's going on, start poking at it, and give the annoying little, "Our base is under attack, our base is under attack," over and over. Some good force fields, not great, but some pretty good force fields going down. A couple of sentries are going to get taken out, some zealots are going to get warped in, try to take out all of these zealots. Some of them are going to get taken out themselves. The Nexus should be fine coming in, as the zealot makes sure that his death is known there with an exuberatingly loud scream. Sounded like a ghost for a moment, and I was wondering. forge going down, no doubt to supplement a cannon that will be thrown behind one of these areas, and more Zerglings going to run through. Now, I've seen a lot of Zergs doing this recently. They've been trying to abuse the Zergling speed early on with the Protoss immobility. If you make too many Stalkers, then they can get easily surrounded. If you make too many Sentries, they can be weak unless good force fields like that are placed. Great force field placement. Even with a probe outside, and if the Zerglings try to slip around here, you know that another force field could just go down there, so you don't even want to try it. Zerglings do come in as the force field drops, but 2 Zerglings are not going to be enough to take down this Stalker. More probes coming in and transferring, even coming in to help the attack, just to solidify everything else going through. And overall, now hallucinations being researched, and this is an interesting thing. We'll likely see it, just used for Phoenix that are going to be scouting out and about the map. But it's still something you don't always see used often. It's one of those things where you see, okay, maybe they'll use it for scouting, and then they'll throw a few Void Rays out. Maybe they'll use it for Colossus to gain the high ground vision and then blink up or warp up. I'll be interested to see what Monchi decides to do with this, unless he cancels it like he did, in which case we're not going to be seeing it at all. More Zerglings being produced. Aristeo solidifying with a Spine Crawler, making sure his defenses are intact. Creep tumors going out, making sure that valuable creep is spread, vision and speed for all. That's something I really like to do early on as a Zerg player. Is, you notice your larvae are falling behind, or you've hit a point where you're like, well, I could inject larvae, but when the 4 of them pop, I'm probably not going to really have enough minerals or gas to spend on all of them. Eventually you will, sure, but why not just go ahead and drop down an early creep tumor? And then you could continue dropping it and spreading your creep and so on and so forth, and you don't have to worry about making an extra queen. Sometimes people do prefer making that extra queen, both for the air protection and for constant creep tumor spawning, which I'm also a fan of. We do have 2 more gateways going down, and where is that Twilight Council? I know it's here somewhere because I see Blink is being researched. Oh, right in front of my face, of course. Blink being researched as one of the structures was cancelled. It's another nice little note about patch 1.4. You see when it's actually cancelled. And we're looking like we're going to have a Blink and +1 timing build. Now, Aristeo needs to be careful about his overlords. It doesn't seem like any more are out and about across the map that might get sniped out. And this is a great mark. I do this as a Zerg player all the time. Is, hey, look, 10-minute mark, and I'm playing as Protoss. Time to get an Overseer. Why? Because you never know. It's so much easier to spend 50 minerals now with 1.4 and 50 gas with the recent patch. And just get an Overseer real quick. Just grab an Overseer. It's not going to cost you much of anything, and it completely nullifies any DT harass tech. Now, this is a lot of Spine Crawlers. I'm not sure if this many should be made. Proxy Pylon has gone down as the probe goes to prepare another. Pathogen Glands is on the way. It's just past the halfway mark, and 7 Infestors are coming. The Infestors might actually hit just before the Pathogen Glands does. Oh, and these Zerglings are on hold position, which can be good, but also bad. I think Monchi's going to be pretty surprised to see how many Spine Crawlers are out here. But at the same time, there aren't a whole lot of just straight-up army units. More Zerglings are being spawned, and these Spine Crawlers are doing ample DPS. And there come the Infestors. The Fungal Growth is ready because the Pathogen Glands did finish just in time. 2 more Infestors on the way as a 5th walks his way down, waddles his way down. As I catch my breath for a moment there. And the Blink Stalkers moving forward, trying to make sure they can get it forward and attack the Infestors before the Fungal grows up, preventing the Blink itself. Infested Terrans spawning up that are going to do pretty high DPS. Excuse me. Infested Terrans severely underrated by a lot of players. This Spine Crawler still holding and trying to prevent this attack of this +1 Blink. But just so many more Stalkers are warping in with this Proxy Pylon right here. Force fields coming down, preventing these all of 2 Zerglings trying to help, along with some of the Infestors. They don't even have the energy for an Infested Terran. There's 1 going down. That 1 Infested Terran is not going to save you against everything else that's going on. Just too many Blink Stalkers here, and I think this is going to be our first GG. Aristeo is supply blocked. He only has so much coming out now. Spawning GG comes from Aristeo as he leaves the game. That is going to finish up game 1, and Monchi is going to go up 1-0. And I will see you guys in the next game.